She is the first black mayor of Dunstable in the United Kingdom.
Every dream is valid.
Every dream is valid.
I never saw myself in this position.
And serves over 40,000 residents of the town. Yes, Nairobi-born Sally Kimondo graces the show to share her inspiring journey from social worker to mayor.
I've been through a lot.
Plus, the lessons she's learned from daring in the UK.
My dad is the late Kimondo. He was an MP of Starehe during the Moi era. So my dad used to always tell me, make sure you leave a legacy that people can take on. If you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to be seen.
Wow, thank you, Your Worship. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
After, is it a year?
Yes.
We met last year.
Last year.
We met when you were councillor.
I was a councillor.
Now you are a mayor.
Yes.
Dunstable.
Yes.
How does it feel?
It's a privilege, it's an honor, and to serve the people, to be the first citizen of Dunstable town, which is quite good, and I do love it. And welcome to Dunstable. This is Dunstable.
Beautiful.
This is our ground here in Dunstable, and we love it.
Let me just take you back. You know, you came to the UK over 20 years ago.
Yes.
You were in your 20s.
Yes.
Did you ever imagine then one day you'll be wearing this and being called your worship?
The mayor, no, I didn't, and that's why I tell people every dream is valid.
Every dream is valid.
I never saw myself in this position because I just came to, to bring my life, to bring, just everybody how they come, better yourself, empower yourself, and then here I am.
Wow. What's your background?
So I am a qualified social worker. I work in children's services, safeguarding team, which I've been working, I think, for about 15 years now. I'm just trying to think here, so I've been working as a qualified social worker. So that's my background. And also business, and also a community leader. So through doing social work, I started doing community work. People come here for various issues and all that. So I came here, my family was already here. So it was for me it was an easy way of coming here. My sister was already established here.
Okay.
So it was just easy to join my family. Yeah. When I came, actually I came and I thought I'll just continue, start working. And then they have, those years, they have somebody because when you're a single mom, later on, you have somebody who is attached to come and give you advice from the benefit office. And she gave me advice and she told me, oh, I like how you speak, I like how you are. And she said, have you thought of going back to education? And I told her I had not thought of going back to education. So I decided to go back to school. And so I went back to school. She said, here we don't, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can go back to school. So I thought actually going back to school was the best thing for me. So I went back to school and I knew at that time I wanted to make an impactful change. And that's how I studied for a degree in social work.
And then did you get employed or you?
Yes, so after a degree in social work, so I've been through a lot. So when I graduated, I think 3 months before graduating, I was sick in hospital. So I fell ill, I was in ICU. Yeah, so I've been, and so I was in ICU because my body was shutting down. But, the medical here is quite good. So I thank L&D, Luton and Dunstable Hospital, I survived, and here I am. So I graduated, I think, I just left hospital because I was what I really looked forward was to graduate, because you've studied and now you're looking forward to graduate. So I graduated now with a degree in social work.
Falling, sick, you are unwell, that didn't put you down. There's a moral lesson there. Never give up.
Never give up. Honestly, I almost gave up, but I was focused because of my daughter and the nurses, and my family was there. The community came through for me, and that's how the community spirit of Ubuntu came for me. The communities came and supported my family. Why? Because my daughter needed to go to school. I'm a single mom. I needed people to come and cook. and clean up and and do everything.
Wow.
So the community came together to also ease that burden of my family, because remember now my sister is here, my mom, so they needed to make sure that my life still continued whilst my family life still continued. So I used to have visitors every day coming to my house.
So what, Your Worship, Mayor Sally, what inspired you into leadership?
My family is, my dad is the late Kimondo. He was an MP of Starehe during the Moi era. So my dad used to always tell me, always make sure you leave a legacy that people can take on. But I had the zeal of the community. I've always wanted to give back in the community. And then because I'd already started now social work, and again that experience of almost losing my life, I realized actually we are a community that comes together for people. Why can't we now make it more in an official onset so other people can learn? Because people would tell me, oh my gosh, your community came through for you. And I thought, yes, we have a very good culture. Why can't we not share it with other people? Before I was a councillor, as a community leader, I started a community group. So I started Luton and Dunstable Kenyan Community Forum. And then from there, I went somewhere and I was raising concerns in terms of knife crime. So UK, we are struggling with knife crime. And when I raised concerns in terms of knife crime, when I was invited to a meeting, I was invited just as a person, not even as a community leader. I raised my question because I'm not scared to say what is usually, I speak my truth. And one of the councillors saw me, she came and followed me and she asked me, have you ever thought of being a councillor? And I told her I don't want to be in politics. It's not my place now. And she said, no, let's meet over coffee and have a discussion further. Because she could see the work I'm doing in the community. And she told me sometimes you need to be seated where you're creating the menu as to opposed to come and find a menu that has been created that you need to eat from. That's how now I started wanting to know more about what is councillorship.
Wow. And then what now eventually led you into becoming a councillor?
So yes, in 2023, I stood as a councillor. I didn't know a lot. I wasn't even confident. In fact, I was like...
Was it on your own volition or people told you, tunataka ukue councillor?
No. So now so now I've joined the party. When you join the party, they have to...
That is Labour Party.
Yes, they have to elect you. Like, there's that selection, so there's a selection process. So when I joined the Labour, when I joined, they really welcomed me. Within that, I'd already gotten a leadership role. So I became the Black Asian minority ethnic leader within Central Bedfordshire, within our party. And then we have to go through the selection. So through the selection, they put me forward to be a councillor, to stand as a councillor. I lost, I think, by 25 votes or 22 votes.
The first time?
The first time. And that was in 2023. And that is it. I continue doing community work. But I usually tell people a loss is not the end of it. Actually, God was creating a different platform for me. People wanted to know who is this Sally. So I started realizing I was getting followers. People would stop me and tell me, are you the lady who stood as a councillor? Because now people had not known me. I'd done so much work in Luton and Dunstable, because sometimes to get a venue in Luton is cheaper when you're doing community work. So people didn't know me that much. Come the same year, end of the same year, I was told actually there's somebody who stepped down and there's a by-election. Are you going to go back for the by-election? Again, we went through the selection process. And they campaigned for me. In fact, I was so busy because I told them my life has moved on, and I want us to do something else. So within the political arena, there's so much. So within that time, I'd already met the king through my community work. I'd already met our prime minister because I'd been put forward to do a program of leadership. So I'd already met him. So I felt actually there's a different aspect to the world as opposed to just being a councillor or an MP. And so when they told me about the selection, I wasn't too keen, but again, I passed through that selection and then I won the election. You
finally got what you wanted. You became councillor now.
I became a councillor.
That is still in 2023?
No, 2024,
so,
January 2024.
January 2024 now.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. Then moving forward, let's now understand Dunstable. So you are councillor from January 2024.
You have to be a councillor before you're put forward for any other thing. So it's a step up. So I was put forward to be a deputy mayor, and then this year I became mayor.
Was it because the term of the previous had ended?
Yes,
the mayor?
yes.
So you went into an election to be
Yes,
a
so
mayor.
yes.
So it's elective.
It's elective. So the councillors, we come together as councillors and decide. So like our council, we are split. So we have, when I mean by split, we have a Labour Party, we have the Conservatives, and we have Independent. So you all have to come and agree together to decide actually who are you going to put forward. So I was very grateful that they all put me.
How many councillors?
There were, out of 18, 17 put me forward. The other one said he abstained from voting.
Yeah, but in total the
18.
The town has 18.
Yeah.
Wow, so you have the goodwill of almost the entire council. Well done. So for you then, what's your vision as and in fact being the first black mayor in Dunstable? What's your vision?
I think for me, it's, I tell people, if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to be seen. Showing up is putting yourself out there because you can't always be put at the end of it. For me, it's continuing. There's a lot of things that is happening within the community. Continue shining a light for the community champions. Our town runs through voluntary. Most charities that you see, it's through voluntary services. But some of these voluntary services, they're not known. They give back. Like I know, because I run a community group, it's people come together and put money or look for sponsors to come and sponsor to provide that. But how can we be able to shine a light on these individuals? We have the community police. We would want to see them more accessible. So it's trying to make sure that they have that continuing good relationship with the with the residents and also with the councillors, having a good cohesive working environment.
Okay.
That's what I would want to see happening within our community as well.
I've read that you're also quite keen in just the growth and the welfare of the black community.
Yes, absolutely. Apart from it's any minority community. What happens, I think when I was standing for elections, most of the ethnic minority told me, oh, you know what, we just don't want to show up. We feel like we are being discriminated against. There's nothing about that. Honestly, I've been a mayor from May, and the community has embraced me with so much love. And that's what I would want to tell people from the black ethnic minority. This community has embraced me with so much love. I've gone to places where they want to understand me, they want to know me, and it's about learning. We've come to their country. We need to learn. I usually say we don't change their rules we don't change our Kenyan rules for them. Okay. So even as we're here to learn from them. So for me, that's what I've seen. So I wanted again to shine a light, people to come and see. Like today we have the Black History Month. I mean, October is a Black History Month. So officially, we are celebrating Black History Month today in Dunstable, so we can continue celebrating it and honoring it. And I've been given, it wasn't a fight. When I approached the officers, they were like, Sally, for sure, we want to make sure that everybody feels included and know that this is also their town. Yeah,
you are meeting the youth, I understand?
Yes.
What's the aim?
The aim is for them to be able to know that they belong, to remind them that they belong. They have been born here. They are contributing. Most of them are in education. It's for them to understand that they can approach and work with other services without them feeling that there's anything about, being set apart. But mostly is to launch a Black History Month in Dunstable.
Well done. Yes. Is there a Kenyan community? Wakenya wako Dunstable?
I'm the leader of also the Luton and Dunstable Kenyan Community Forum. I established the group in 2020. Oh my gosh, I think we have about 17 certificates. We've been recognized by BBC, 3. We've been recognized. We are doing so much impactful change. We've just come up from Parliament to go and speak about our knife crime cards, which the youth tomorrow will come and speak about. Because for us, we are now empowering them. And we come together, we do so many events. We have about 8 to 9 events a year, 3 of which the youth do their own events. Because for us, it's about empowering them. We are about, I would say, between Luton and Dunstable and Central Bedfordshire, I think we are more than 500.
So what difference would you cite or lessons either from Kenya to here or here to Kenya in terms of leadership, in terms of electing people back home?
Yeah. I think for me it's about be true to yourself. When you get into that position, don't look at what you can be able to gain. First and foremost, God has put you in that position because He knew you can be able to do it. Ask yourself 2 questions. Is it for self-gain or is it to empower? There's something that my dad taught me. My dad told me, anything that you do, you have to remember, are you leaving a legacy? The legacy that my dad left is what I'm still carrying on today, is what I'm leaving to our youth. If it's about me, people their leaders we don't hear about. And
for the electorate, what would you tell them?
They need to be firm. Don't be bought with favors. Be a person of individual. Even if you stand alone, stand for your truth. Stand knowing, actually, this is why I've made this decision because of this. Don't be moved by the crowd. One principle I've lived by is I have always lived according to myself. What you see, where you see Sally is what you see that, but I'm always back on my mind. I'm like, oh gosh, I hope, because I love dancing. So I'm like, I hope somebody's not taking me, because people, you never know who can take your video. There's that pressure, but it's how you also perceive it. I usually say, what am I doing in the dark? What can I not do in the front?
But
you have to make sure that you're always,
But you maintain humility.
I have to. I love to. Because I'm here because of the people. I'm here to tell you, let's empower each other. The sky, look at how the sky, we all have a place to be up here. When God created us, He knew Sally is going to be seated there, you're going to be seated there. And that's the strength He gave you. It doesn't mean He's not going to be seated there tomorrow. But it is your time to sit there. Let's be like the Jewish community. They are there to empower each other. We cannot compete for the same thing. We can be there to learn from each other. And we'll make the community a better place. Let's continue to make those impactful change. We need one another. We need our children to grow. And we need to make changes. We're a beautiful community. Kenya, we come together. Do you know Kenyans? We are the ones who come together to bury, to remove money to bury and take our loved ones back home. When you have a wedding, we remove. When you have a party, we still remove. But let us support each other in that wisdom, also in times of leadership and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah.